tonight?
I'm doing. Here
There we go. All right. So let's try that again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the TLC Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Mike. Mike, how are you tonight? Second time around.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. What a week. We had CM Punk signed to Monday Night Raw. We had an absolutely tremendous Deadline event. We are going to roll right into Final Battle. Lots to go over tonight. What do you want to start with?
Oh, I'm up for whatever.
You know what? Let's go chronologically. So let's start with, and gosh, it seems like it's been a year since this happened, but Wednesday night on Dynamite, after we went off the air, it certainly seems like we're getting closer to finding out who the devil is.
Yes.
MJF attacked pre-match where him and Samoa Joe were supposed to team up to take on two of the Devil's minions or whatever you want to call them.
The Masked Men is what they say. Yeah.
So I don't know quite what to make of this because every time I feel like I'm getting closer to figuring it out, I feel like they're trying to yank the carpet out from under us.
I think
they are smart.
Right.
Keep us guessing.
Yes. So is it going to be Adam Cole?
To me, it would make the most sense. Finally, let somebody in. I feel like we need the resolution. But here, let me see if I can get myself centered here. Right.
Okay.
I feel like we need the resolution by World's End. I think that's when we get our payoff.
Right. I think that's when we do get the payoff, but I'm just wondering, like, how we're going to get the payoff. Is it going to be during the match? Is it going to be after the match? What are they going to do?
Yeah, and I guess really all things are on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, because, look, for all we know, it could be Samoa Joe who's the devil.
I heard some people say it could be Wardlow, but would they want to waste that big of a spot on Wardlow?
I wouldn't. I could see Wardlow as one of the masked men or one of the...
Right. I could see him like as a henchman, or I could... Because it would make sense if it's Adam Cole, Roddy Strong, and the Kingdom.
Right. To me, that makes the most sense.
Right.
And maybe that's why they don't do it.
Maybe.
Maybe it's Wardlow who got the Kingdom and Roderick Strong.
Maybe. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out. Because they have a lot of options. It's just wondering how and who is going to be involved.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, one of the things they've really done with this whole angle, it's really been well done. Maybe the best done angle that they've had in the company.
One of them, yeah.
Because I certainly feel like, a lot of other angles have felt like forced. Like the Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, they're turning on each other. That just seems so like obvious.
Right.
The emergence of Hook, he's been great, but I feel like that's just because of the groundswell of the crowd just loving him.
Yes, Hook's organically getting over.
Yeah. Yes. And this just seems like something they created. They wanted to make a buzz with it, and it's worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you certainly hope they don't do it the way that, like, say, a generation ago, WWF at the time did it with the Higher Power.
It's me, Austin.
It was me all along.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was brutal. That was one of those more interesting ones that they've ever done, to say the least. It's like,
Yeah, and it's one of those that like it drew my interest, but then when it was revealed, it was like, okay, interest is gone.
right, yeah, it was just like a huge fart and everything just came out.
Yeah, and I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, it was just bad.
But that's kind of what it was like, and
Really
yeah,
well.
I certainly hope it's not like that with this. Which
I
I'm starting to think, like, if done poorly, if it's Adam Cole, like that's what it could kind of come across as.
Right.
But everything else about this angle has been done so well, it makes me think that it won't be Adam Cole, or if it is, it will be done in such a unique way that we'll appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how all the cards get laid out for it. I'm assuming at World's End it will be when the devil gets exposed.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. That's really when it has to happen. You want that big payoff to always be on pay-per-view.
Right.
Like, and again, and I keep coming back to this, that over the last several months I've been listening nonstop to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. I feel like I have figured out if Bruce were running AEW, how he would do this angle, and it would definitely be the payoff on pay-per-view.
Right.
And to me, you don't want to give away that results. I feel like, the Vince McMahon is the higher power was a Vince Russo move.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the idea to reveal it on Raw like that was
right.
hideously stupid.
Shock TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, he was a big Howard Stern fan, and so he wanted to bring Howard Stern ideas to WWF. And look, it's a great concept. It worked in the short term.
Right. But
long term, you just couldn't sustain that kind of success.
no, and that's one thing. Like when you sit there and watch the Dark Side of the Ring and the Bash at the Beach 2000 episode, you're like, how did this guy survive this long in the wrestling business? Or
one thing I found curious about that episode was like the Hulk Hogan suing them for slander. And I really found that curious. He made a great point, and chalk this one up to Russo. How do you slander a fictitious character?
I know. How do you? You can't.
So in that regard, it was smart. I'm really good, and smart on Vince Russo to at no point say Terry instead of Hulk.
Right. He kept
referring to him as Hulk Hogan.
Right. And I love how he just puts the extra syllables. Wrestling.
Which Vince Russo can't like wrestling.
No.
Like with what he's done to it, he can't like it.
He can't. No.
But anyway, let's not digress anymore. So yeah, we appreciate what they're doing in AEW. The main storyline and the storyline that's going to carry them into World's End?
World's End.
Yeah, that's going to carry them into World's End is the devil and who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Which, gosh, I feel like the Eagles' little mini losing streak may have gone on me because back in April I declared that Howie Roseman was the devil. And, I wanted so bad for the headline after the draft on the Monday morning newspaper to be "The Devil Went Down to Georgia."
Right.
But anyway, and I mentioned it at the Niners game. Just like, man, I kept saying the MJF line, nobody's on the level of the devil. But boy. Yeah, not so much. Maybe there are levels this thing, and the Eagles are quite at that level.
Not so much.
At least not right now. Hopefully that'll change. But that's a conversation for a different show.
Exactly. We are here to talk wrestling, not football.
So let's get to that. Friday night SmackDown. I don't think we touched on this last week. Randy Orton signing his exclusive deal with SmackDown, had his first match this past week, tagging with LA Knight.
Yeah.
I'd imagine this week is going to involve Roman Reigns addressing Randy Orton or Randy addressing Roman.
Setting us up for Royal Rumble.
Yes. Yeah.
We're on the road, and
we are. It is full speed ahead.
Guessing that's what we're going to get for the road to WrestleMania. Will be Randy against Roman. Wondering if they're going to make that the main event, or if they're going to maybe do that, like, because I know Roman likes to either go on first or last.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember the first person I heard make reference to that. They either felt like you either want to open the show or close the show, and that was The Miz.
Right.
I heard him say that one time. He said he always looked at that as like the two benchmarks. If you close the show, obviously you're the best. If you open the show, you're right up there.
Right. So I'm wondering if they're going to have it open and keep one of the Rumbles as the main event, or if they're going to close with it.
If I had to guess, I'd say they close with it, but
right, because this is the way I think we get to Mania now.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're on the topic of it, I think it happens this way. I think Cody wins the Rumble again.
I agree.
I think so. Maybe you have the Rumble midway through. Cody wins the Rumble, which, being the most over baby face, he'll be the first back-to-back winner since Austin. Give him huge momentum. He wins the Rumble. We have Randy against Roman closing out the show. Randy, the numbers game comes involved. Mm-hmm. Cody comes out to save him from the bloodline. And then immediately, after Cody makes the save, says, Roman, you and Mania. And we don't even wait the guessing game of which champion will he challenge.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I would love for him to not even say it. I'd love for it to just be Cody comes out at the end after, say, Roman's already beaten him, and then the numbers are beating him down, and Cody comes out with a chair, makes the save, and at some point there's a moment, like a glance between the two of them. They lock eyes, Roman and Cody, and Cody just looks at him and then points to the WrestleMania sign.
Right. Yeah, we could have that, so. Because that's all we need is that point.
All you need is the point, baby. Just point.
And we got the picture.
Yep. And we know where we're going. We know WrestleMania. Then that will close night 2, Cody Roman at WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Right. And then I think we know now what's going to close night 1.
Yeah. Punk and Rollins. They teased it on Monday.
I think we're going to get there.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. I would imagine. Now, I wonder if, because Elimination Chamber in Australia, like, that's going to be so cool.
Right.
Seth, I would assume, is defend. I mean, you could either have Seth defend the world title inside the chamber and then do something else to qualify Punk to challenge Seth Rollins.
Right.
Or you could have the Elimination Chamber match just be between, everybody, like the main players who are not challenging, basically everybody not named Cody.
Right.
Then to figure out who's going to challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and CM Punk wins that. And so CM Punk challenges Seth Rollins.
Yeah. And I wonder, because she's got to be on the Elimination Chamber. Are they going to have Rhea defend the title in a chamber match?
I mean, I think that would be great.
I think that would be fantastic if they.
Yeah, if you do the men's Elimination Chamber match to be the challenge for Seth Rollins in the world title at Mania, and the women's Rhea Ripley defends the women's world title.
Right. Because she's going to get a massive ovation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be deafening there for her. So,
in fact, I think she should come should come out to start the introduction, so she's not starting the chamber match,
right?
And then go into that's going to be such a great event. So much to look forward to. 2024 going to be a banner year in WWE.
I mean, you look at it; they already have 3 international events announced.
Right.
Between the Chamber Backlashes in Paris.
Yeah.
And then the Bash in Berlin. I mean.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing too.
And then, of course, we're going to have 2 Saudi shows. So that's 5 shows right there.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the 2 Saudi shows. And look, I'm sure they'll be good. Or at least they'll be loaded.
Right. They're always loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching a countdown on YouTube of the best. They did the best one-off pay-per-views from worst to best in WWE history. And when they got to the Greatest Royal Rumble, they were saying how this is the first Saudi show. And they put a sumo wrestler in there because the Crown Prince wanted Yokozuna on the show, but
Yoko died several years ago.
Yeah, dead for about 20 years by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, and I just, as we were talking about Saudi Arabia, I thought that was a fun factoid.
He wanted Yokozuna on the show, but, he died, sir. So he can't do the show.
So we get another sumo wrestler and bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't remember that much of that show.
Yeah, but I kind of mentally blocked it out.
Yeah, the one thing that stuck out to me was at the time.
I know what it is.
Daniel Bryan's performance. So.
Okay. I was going to say Titus O'Neil stumbling into.
Well, of course, that will live in infamy, that moment.
Yeah, that was definitely the most viral moment of the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Which, now that we're on the topic of the Greatest Royal Rumble, I want to ask you, forget matches, whatever, whether it be matches, the Royal Rumble match itself, what's your favorite moment from any Royal Rumble?
Oh, when Flair won the title.
Okay.
Yeah. That was probably my favorite when he won through. Another one of my favorite moments, because I was there, was the night Benoit won the Rumble from number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, look, and nobody was a bigger Chris Benoit fan than me. I literally, had people, after the Chris Benoit thing, I had people check on me to make sure I was okay.
Yeah.
Because I was, I was really upset. And, everybody checks on me when the Eagles, miss a 3rd down conversion, but, but yeah, the Chris Benoit thing, that ranks right up there with one of the worst, reactions to anything, whether aside from losing a family member.
Yeah.
That was right up there. And
it was shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I had something I was doing that night and I couldn't watch Monday Night Raw live. And so I was recording it on an old school VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
Had set up the timer on my VCR to record. It worked. I come in and I just turn on Raw when I got home. So again, I couldn't just start it from the beginning like you can a DVR. I had to wait until it was over to go back and watch it. I just turned it on to see where they were at in the show, and it was they were showing I think it was Chris Benoit and JBL, and I was like, why the hell are they showing this?
Right.
So I stayed on it for a few minutes, and then I saw, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree. The Chris Benoit winning the Rumble was another great moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, Eddie. That was really cool too.
Yeah,
I mean, the Ray winning it for Eddie.
For Eddie, yeah.
Yeah.
When Edge returned, that was a pretty cool moment.
It's funny. Old co-host of the show, Joe Barry, was in my apartment with me watching the Rumble that night.
Right.
He legit marked out for Edge, and so did I. I'll be honest, so did I.
Yeah.
I had read a couple things. I remember thinking, no way. Like, I didn't even let myself really get excited by the idea.
Right.
I
remember my wife was stunned during it. And I kind of lost it because I saw it pop up so much that the rumor that he was coming back, and I thought, anything's possible. No, I'm talking when Edge came back. And then, boom, he's back. So,
yeah, that was really special. Lots of special moments. I think this year some comebacks could be, Liv Morgan. I would imagine she'll be back for the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
The men, gosh, I don't even know who's been. I guess Braun Strowman, maybe.
Maybe the monster among men. I'm wondering who they might bring back.
Yeah, I mean, my God, you've already got the biggest return you could have ever gotten.
Right. So it's
I kind of wondered why they didn't save that just for a surprise entrant at the. Now, I know that keeping a lid on that for 2 months would have been really hard.
Keeping a lid on it for 2 months would have been real hard.
Yeah.
And B, it was Chicago. I mean,
that's true.
If you're going to get an ovation for him anywhere, it's going to be Chicago. You have to do it there, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, I guess Ray will probably be back at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Probably come in and, I would assume Santos he might even start the Rumble or, be pretty early on and kind of be on a roll. And then you see Rey Mysterio come out at, say, at 11 or 12 or something like that. I like to plan out in my own head. I like to think about, okay, who would make sense to start the Rumble?
Maybe in, the first 10, you might have Santos. And have him work through the LWO, Cruz, Joaquin, Dragon, Carlito.
Yeah.
Have him throw the 4 of them out. And
then Rey Mysterio comes out and eliminates Santos.
And then you have Booyaka, and boom, everyone goes nuts. And Ray runs through and wins and dumps Santos over.
Yeah.
Or what would be kind of funny to see, have Dom dump Santos over.
Ooh.
And just be like, did that just happen? And just make people process that. That would be good.
Yeah, I always like those kind of moments where you can kind of make people process something and be like, wait, what did I just watch?
Yeah, did I just see Dom dump Santos? What's going on here?
I mean, you could have Dom and Ray fighting it out, and then it looks like, or not Dom and Ray, Ray and Santos fighting it out, and it almost looked like Santos is going to eliminate him. Dominic just kind of sees an opening and just tosses Santos over, seemingly to save his dad, and everybody's thinking, "Oh my God, what a great moment!" Then Dom just sucker punches his dad, knocks him out.
Right, that would work.
It's just nope, he was just taking advantage of a moment.
Right, just give people a little bit to think about.
Give them a little taste of what they actually want to see.
Right.
And then yank the carpet out from underneath them.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's talk. We really, I guess, kind of touched on Monday Night Raw there where we talked about CM Punk.
Right.
Just we're going to have kind of, I guess, end of year awards coming up because I know, basically it sounds like Triple H is giving everybody the week off between Christmas and New Year's.
They're doing the house show tour that they always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they announced they're going to be in Madison Square Garden the day after Christmas, which they do a lot.
Right.
And that's when Punk's going to go in the ring for the first time.
Yeah, apparently he's going to face Dominic.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Which, yeah, that'll be a good test for Punk to see how ring ready he is.
Yeah, it will be.
Because I know it's not like he hasn't wrestled in 10 years. I mean, he wrestled on AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty well ring ready at this point, considering he threw some bangers out in AEW.
He really did. Like, I was impressed with some of his matches in AEW.
Yeah.
In fact, of course, now that I know I told you this, how I wanted so badly for a CM Punk Daniel Bryan Iron Man match. And now, once again, they're in opposite companies.
Again.
Yeah.
How about Daniel Bryan and John Moxley?
We might get that soon.
We could get a little Bryan Danielson John Moxley matchup.
I think that might be the finals to the Continental Classic that they're.
Oh, a little Blackpool Combat Club Civil War.
Yeah. It could happen.
Could
I have my bottle of water, please?
I wanted that match so great I made it in the Fight Forever.
Okay. That was a match in Fight Forever for him. He wanted to see it, so.
Okay.
Yes. He made it in his video game. Well, my game that he's kind of played more than.
That he's commandeered.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, when you have kids and you're both into the same thing, there's going to be some sharage.
Yeah, it happens a lot here. So.
I know my dad always loved when he'd get the Madden game for me, and then he'd be like, all right, we're going to play some in Madden. He didn't like that I was able to figure out his offense and then able to stifle him.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
Nice. No, playing Madden football back in the day. It was.
Wait, what did Eric's dad do? Tell me he can't play it anymore?
Well, Eric would figure out his dad's offense in the game. So.
And then it was just basically anything. As soon as he came out in the formation, I knew what the play was.
Right.
And would just set up my defense to stop it. And, he would get so mad.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was great. He would almost have the Eric Smash moments, only with my dad having them instead of me.
Nice.
Why would he throw it? Why would he throw it? Well, because my guy's all over him, Dad.
See, I love the original Maddens for
Genesis,
where you had the ABC receiver, and if you threw it to one of them where there's a defender, it's an automatic pick.
Yes.
Yes. And then in NHL 92, the first NHL game, all you had
I love those original NHL games, yeah.
All you had to do was skate to the goalie's toes, and then you knock the goalie over, and the puck would just go in.
What was I want to say it was 94 or 95, where they had like this little triple deke that you could do down in the corner. And anytime you did it, you just go and you'd come down and you'd go to the backhand and just boop right in every damn time.
90, yeah, I think it was 95.
Yeah, and Ryan and I were playing a season against each other, and we started calling them the bitch goals.
Yeah.
And so whenever we played, it was always we didn't even count it if you scored a bitch goal.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I think one of our games, the final score was like 9-8 because we just kept doing that to each other. So
Yeah.
one of them, if you did it once, then you had to let the other guy go and do it.
Right. Yeah, I remember one of those games. I won 82-0 in a season.
Yeah.
And then
I love the end of season today thing.
Right. And then I won 16-0 in the playoffs. It just became anticlimactical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, but that was the old school video games.
Oh yeah.
So now I guess we should preview Final Battle.
Yeah, we can preview Final Battle. Yeah, do you have the card in front of you?
Give me 1 second. Let's see here. This is the Continental Classic. Didn't know if you wanted to talk about that as well, because I think we have that tonight on the AEW tournament.
Can I watch it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, tonight we got 4 matches for the Continental Classic.
Okay, yeah. What are the matches tonight?
On Dynamite. We got, because usually the Blue League is on Collision. Tonight we get a Blue League match on Dynamite.
Oh, wow.
Andrade and Brody King, which I think might be a sleeper match.
Dude, Brody King's awesome.
Brody King has been one of the better performers, I think, in this whole tournament so far. So we're getting that match because tonight's winner is coming, and then we get Roosh against Jay Lethal in the Gold League, Jay White against Mark Briscoe, and Lethal and Briscoe are eliminated.
Yeah.
And we have 2 of the guys with 9 points, Swerve against Moxley.
Yeah, that's going to be a big matchup, Swerve and Mox.
Big match. So
yeah, that could be the winner wins that league.
Yeah, it could very well be. Because I think, what are they doing? Are they doing... Yeah, they're going to do the league finals, which I don't get why they're doing it that way.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't get why they're having a rematch between the top 2. The only thing I can think of is...
because they're setting up a tie.
They're setting up a tie somewhere.
Yeah.
So no, that'll be fun tonight. And then one thing I'm very interested to see tonight is the Von Erichs are coming.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting moment. The Von Erichs, we haven't seen them on any, I guess really any of the major American wrestling shows since was it Bound for Glory a couple of years ago.
I know, so because they've been on MLW for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with Rouse and Marshall.
Yeah, I'm curious. That is one of those, like, the Von Erich tragedies. I feel like they've been overexposed. Of course, the movie The Iron Claw, which I don't know. Have you gotten it? That's out in theaters now, right?
No, the 22nd. It's out.
Okay.
I think what might happen is I might put the kids to bed the night of the 22nd and go sneak out and see the movie in the theater.
What movie?
Okay.
The movie about the Von Erich family. Because I don't know how it's going to be yet.
Right.
Because people have said it's great, but I want to see for myself.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely want to see it. It's on that list. Like, it's one of those movies I definitely want to see as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, because to me, that's one of wrestling's biggest what ifs.
Yes.
What if David didn't die in Japan?
Wait, he died in the ring?
Before a match, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then
because I think we have a whole different NWA at that point.
We switched places there.
It said you got disconnected. I don't know how that happened. Hold on.
That's weird.
Yeah, it said you were disconnected and then popped back. There, I fixed it for us.
Oh, okay.
So
that didn't do anything, and then it just, like, all of a sudden, I got the little squirrely thing, and then I come back up and I'm you.
I blame Wi-Fi, put it that way.
Absolutely. It's always the Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. It always is. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they bring the Von Erichs in tonight. if they're going to announce a contract signing, or is it just the one-off?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I look forward to seeing whatever they're going to do with the Von Erichs.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Part of me is wondering if Big Bill and Ricky Starks come out and say something, and they have a tag team title match.
Maybe.
Because that would be kind of funny if they had a tag title match and let the Von Erichs win the tag titles.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to. So, but it should be an interesting show with those 4 Continental Classic matches and the Von Erichs making an appearance.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting show. So let's get to Final Battle.
Final Battle. All right, let's pull that back up. Okay, where is that? Here we go. In Garland, Texas. So we've got the Survival of the Fittest finals, the 6-way match for the World Television title. It's only a 5-match card.
Yeah, very curious. I would assume not going to be one of those 4-hour marathons that AEW is known for.
Yeah, I mean, because we got Dalton Castle, Commander, Kyle Fletcher, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, and one more to be determined.
Yeah, I guess that'll be determined. Are they doing like a last chance thing? I know that would be a WWE move, so I don't know if Ring of Honor will be in for that.
I don't know what that's gonna be. So, and then we're gonna have a Keith Lee versus Shane Taylor match.
That's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
And then it's gonna be Ethan Page versus Tony Nese.
Yeah, in a submission match.
In an I Quit match.
Yeah.
And then the Jay Briscoe Memorial Fight Without Honor between FTR and Mark Briscoe against Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, and Claudio of the Blackpool Combat Club, which should be a banger. And then Athena versus Billy Starks for the women's title.
Yeah. An interesting card. Like you said, I think they're going to try to go out of their way to make each match go a long way.
Right.
And tell a great story. And I think this is something that, look, NXT did a lot of in their early part of their run.
Yeah.
In 1.0, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Like they would do a lot of those like 4 or 5 match cards and let it go 2.5 to almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it just, each match is a barn burner.
Yeah. And I think that's what we might be getting. And the nice part is it's on Honor Club.
I know. That is so awesome.
Yes.
Not going to have to figure out a way to watch it on my phone with like a YouTube thing or it's going to be, I'll just come home, put it on Honor Club and watch the show.
And enjoy. So.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm really hoping that's just the way that their shows go now.
Right.
Like their big shows that they're all on Honor Club.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because this is a great idea. I love it. Thank you, Tony Khan, for doing that.
Yes.
I'm wondering when they're going to do, whether they might link up with, I know we speculated before, like an HBO Max or Max.
Right.
And have AEW premium live events as opposed to pay-per-views.
It's got to be coming in the near future.
Yeah, I got to believe that is one of those things to stay tuned for in 2024.
I think when they do their TV rights, I think that's going to be thrown into one of them.
Yeah, and I think that will be fantastic.
I think
All right, so let's preview those matches, and then we'll send it home. So I guess, do we want to start with the TV title match?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have my notebook that I usually put our picks in. So let me just get a piece of paper here.
Sure.
And then I will update all this because I think I had to check for a deadline, but I think we were pretty much dead even
Yeah.
because I think you picked Dragon Lee, but I
Yes.
had Trick and I had Kiana James.
Yeah. Yeah. You did good there.
So I did well. So I think that makes up for the Dom loss. Damien Dom, I thought you were going to hold the title again.
Well,
All right.
I don't remember who I picked in the Women's Iron Survivor, but I mean, Blair Davenport's a great winner for that. I think I probably picked Stratton.
I think you did because was Blair even announced?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Because for some reason I picked Fallon Henley. I thought
Well,
Blair
Fallon
was,
Henley was in it too.
yeah, no, because I would have picked. I thought like I was disappointed in the card and the women's match.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess we'll do the survival of the fittest.
All right. So who are the participants again?
Commander
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Castle,
Okay.
Al Fletcher, Lee Johnson, and Lee Moriarty.
I guess I'll go with Dalton Castle.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. You're going with Dalton. He seems like a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to go Commander.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't go Commander is because I just feel like he's a great guy to just have randomly throughout the show. Like he's a great utility guy. You can plug him into any match and have him challenge for any championship.
That's how I kind of feel.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
maybe it's time to let him have his moment. And this could be a good way to then, in 2 years or whatever, when you want to, after he's had and dropped the TV title,
right.
He can put over some other young guys, and it's like, hey, they just beat a former TV champion.
Exactly. Or they couldn't work him up to the new Triple Crown title.
They could. They could start that ascension for him.
They could. Alrighty. Excuse me. Then what else do we have here? Keith Lee and Shane Taylor.
Oh man, this is a hard one to, and I love this. I love that a lot of these matches are going to feel really hard to call.
They are.
I guess I'll just go Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Because I could see them easily saying they want Shane Taylor to really finish, to pardon a pun from WWE, but finish his story with Keith Lee and how they were supposed to go for the tag titles, didn't do it because Keith Lee signed with WWE.
Right. You know what? I'm going to go with Shane on this.
Okay.
Because I think, it could go either way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I would not be at all surprised to see Shane Taylor win.
No. Ethan Page against Tony Nese.
I think this is another one. Now, this one seems a little more obvious to me. I believe this has to be Ethan Page.
Yeah.
But man, it really wouldn't shock me very much if Tony Nese won.
Same here. I'm going with Page. I think Page should win this match, but it wouldn't shock me either way.
Yeah.
Really, in 4 out of 5 of these matches, none of them really would shock me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And then Athena against Billy Starks for the women's title.
I want to believe in Billy Starks, and I want to believe this can be her moment. But I'm going to go Athena because I think they can build that story up more and have a better story, like say at Supercard of Honor, like one more time,
Yeah,
Athena
I think
versus
so
Billy
too.
Stark. So I'll go Athena.
I would agree with you on that. And then I'm assuming the main event's going to be the Jay Briscoe Memorial fight
I
with
would hope so. Yeah.
between Blackpool and an FTR against Mark and FTR and Mark Briscoe.
Right.
So
Yeah, against was it Danielson, Claudio,
and Mox.
and Mox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, this has got to be FTR and Mark, right?
This has to be. This is
You
the
can't
one
have Mark.
match that
Yeah.
if I had to bet on to predict the winner, this is the one I would say it has to be FTR and Mark.
Yeah, I agree. This you're paying tribute to his brother, Jay
Right.
Briscoe, and
Yeah. I mean, how crappy would that be if they had him job that match?
I mean it would be a great swerve.
It would be a great swerve, but yeah.
But I think too great a swerve. Like
Yeah.
that would be one of those like, come on, Lee. You couldn't let him have this moment.
Right. I think that would really piss everyone off.
Yeah. I think you'd actually get a lot of people who would cancel their Honor Club membership over that.
Yeah, I think so. So that's all they have announced.
I wonder if anything will get added tomorrow night or if this is the. I got to believe this is the card they're going with. Hey, you know what? I'm happy with it.
I am too. It's gonna have that old school NXT vibe.
Yeah, and I think that's the vibe they're going for.
I think so.
Like as a show, everything. I just feel like that's what they're going for. They're going for that old school NXT vibe.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get it with a great card Friday night.
And I'm really convinced that's how all the PLEs for WWE are going to be from now on.
Yeah, just the five great matches. Yeah.
5 or 6 quality matches.
Yeah.
I mean, that aren't these. Because let's face it, early WrestleManias, they always had like 1 or 2 squash matches on a WrestleMania card. Like Bundy and SD. It made no sense. Even like when you look at WrestleMania 8, as far down the road, the Owen Hart Skinner match. I think, yeah, it was only a minute and a half when you look at it.
Yeah, it wasn't long. Don't blank. Or at 6 with Martel and Coco Beware, Hall of Famer Coco Beware. That could be another conversation. That'll be a conversation for another day. Because I did promise you we're going to put a bow on this one. But yeah, some of the Hall of Famers that make you scratch your head.
Yeah.
So okay, really looking forward to Final Battle. Like you said, it's gonna have that old school NXT vibe to it.
Well, I think it's going to be a good show.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a phenomenal show. I figured next week is a good time to go ahead and do our end of year, or at least start our end of year celebration. We'll do our awards. Because I don't know what the next week is going to look like. You know, it's the Christmas week. And
that Christmas week, yeah, it might be.
I know it'll be touchy for me to get to watch everything, especially since there's an Eagles game on Christmas Day. Thanks a lot, NFL.
I know. That'll be interesting for you.
But, yeah, so we'll get into that. I figure, well, I don't know if you want to do, let's just discuss it right now. Do you want to do all the awards as gender neutral? So if you do Superstar of the Year, they can be a man or a woman. If you do, Comeback of the Year, Surprising Moment, Most Improved. Or do we want to do a male superstar of the year and a female superstar of the year tag? I definitely want to do a separate thing for tag team of the year.
Okay.
In fact, we could do men and women. I'd be fine with that.
For what?
For superstar of the year, at least.
Okay. Yeah. Because really, women's tag teams.
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to try to entertain that.
All right. Yeah, that would be tough. I guess Chelsea and Piper win by default almost.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Maybe what's that women's tag team in Ring of Honor? Oh, there is one good women's tag team.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to. Oh, hello, Juan. The dog's licking my arm as I'm sitting here. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I know who you're talking about. I'm having a moment. It'll hit me in a minute. Don't worry.
Well, anyway, that probably would be my women's tag team of the year.
Yeah.
But so, needless to say, not a strong field there, so we're not going to address that.
Right.
If you want to throw in one of the women's tag teams as far as overall tag team of the year, have at. But I figure we'll discuss all of that next week.
That'll be fun. And then I think we have to discuss Farewell next week.
Absolutely, we have to discuss Farewell to Hamburg. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic show.
23rd with the 10-man cage match.
That's going to be cool. I can't wait to see that. I feel like there's a good chance for that to turn into a crowded little cluster.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Because you can't have them all in the cage and try to actually have legit tags and stuff, right?
It's going to be chaos. It's going to be great.
It should just be the 10 of them fighting it out, and I want it somehow to spill outside of the cage and fight all over the arena.
Yeah, I figure it's such a historic building. It's got to go down properly.
Yeah, I feel like they should, we're saying goodbye to Hamburg. Just tear down the building.
There we go.
You want to use it for, what is it being used for? Auto auctions and stuff now?
Yeah, car dealership.
Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck picking up the pieces of your broken down arena now.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. We'll be back to preview all of that next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Mike, anything to add before we get out of here?
No. I think we covered it all.
All right. Sounds good, man. Have a great night and happy wrestling, everybody.
I did. I capped it.